Welcome to this video. Today I will be showing you how to remove all computer viruses, malware, adware, and spyware off of your computer. I'm doing this here on a Windows 10 computer. However, if you're using Windows 8, 8.1, or Windows 7, the steps are the same, so this will also work on those operating systems as well. I will be listing the steps down below in the notes, so make sure you're following along down there because I will also list any important links that I go over. So again, follow along in the description below. We will also be doing some basic computer maintenance and cleaning to help optimize the computer and help it run more efficiently. For step number 1, if you go down to the notes below and click on the link there, it will take you to this website, which is the first anti-malware scan we're going to run. It's called Malwarebytes, and you'll just want to look for where it says free download. I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And then once the installer starts to download, you'll just want to make sure that you open it. And then make sure you click on yes if UAC pops up. And then once the installer opens up, you'll just want to hit OK. Now when it's finished installing, this window will pop up. You can just go ahead and click on close. And we just want to make sure that we are using the free version. By default, it will do the premium trial, but we're just going to change it to the free version. So you'll want to come over here and click on settings on the left hand side and go over here to my account. And then from here, if you come down to the bottom and just click on deactivate premium trial and hit yes, you can see now it switched it to the free version, which means we're just currently using the free version of Malwarebytes. You can also see down below it now says Malwarebytes free, and so that's how we know that we have the free edition also. And then once you've deactivated the premium, you'll want to come over here to protection, the protection tab, and we're just going to change a couple things. Make sure that this is turned on where it says scan for rootkits. We do want that turned on. Make sure that both of these drop down menus say treat as malware for PUPs and PUMs. And then also underneath startup options, we're going to turn Malwarebytes off because we don't want it starting up every time we turn the computer on. And then we're just going to go back to the dashboard. We're also just going to double check, make sure it did update. So over here where it says updates, just click on current and it will just double check, make sure you've got the latest definitions, which are very important in order for it to identify the latest threats. And then once that has finished, you can go ahead and just come over here and click on Scan Now. Once the scan has completed, it will give you a list of everything that was found. You can just scroll through and see what it found there. Just double check, make sure all of them have been checked. These numbers up here should match. And then once you have checked all of the threats listed, you'll just click on Quarantine Selected. Now, as soon as Malwarebytes has completed removing all of the threats, if anything like this pops up on your screen asking to restart, for the time being, just click on no because we're going to restart the computer later in the cleaning steps. For step number 2, you will want to go down to the notes below, and underneath step number 2, just click on the link there, and it will take you to this page, which is the second scan we're going to run. Just look for the big red button that says free edition download. We're just going to download the free edition, and the download should start automatically. Once the download has completed, you will just want to make sure you double click on it to open it up. And then when this pops up, go ahead and click on decline. It's going to go ahead and update the program with the latest definitions. And then once it finishes updating, make sure to come down here and just double check, make sure it actually did update. If everything says complete, you can go ahead and hit OK. And then you'll come over to scan this computer, select complete scan. If it finds any unwanted programs, for the time being, I'm going to skip these because we're going to remove these later in the cleaning steps. If you want to, you can go ahead and remove them now by clicking the X, but I'm going to go ahead and click on skip, and it will start the scanning. Once the scan has completed, you will get a screen like this. You'll just click on continue. It will show you what the results are. Just make sure everything has an X in the box so that everything is selected. And then once you've done that, you can go ahead and click on continue, and it will remove all of the results. Now if you get a notification like this asking you to close your browsers, you'll want to go ahead and click on yes, and I would close anything you have open just to make sure that it removes all of the threats correctly. For step number 3, you will need to go back down to the notes below, and again under step number 3, just click on the link there, and it will take you to this website, which is where we will get CCleaner, which will help us clean the computer. Just click on the free download button, and then here in the free column, just go down to the bottom, and we're just going to go ahead and click right here to download CCleaner. Once it finishes downloading, you'll just have to come down here and double click on it to open it up, and click on yes if UAC comes up. And then this is the actual CCleaner program. I'm just going to make it larger here. Now step number 3 is going to have 4 parts. It's going to have part A, part B, part C, and part D. So obviously first I'm going to go over part A. For part A, just make sure that you have the cleaner selected here on the left hand side, and then also make sure you have the Windows tab selected. This is just going to go through and clean out all of the garbage data. Make sure you do not have a box checked below right here. The last one, or the lowest one down, you should have checked is window log files. We do not want to delete any of this down here. And so also underneath your web browsers, Internet Explorer, and Microsoft Edge, just make sure you do not check anything that says saved form information. We also do not want to delete saved passwords, so just make sure those are not checked. And then next you're going to go to the Applications tab. Now what you have on your list of applications might be different than what I have, because it's going to depend what you have on your computer. But generally, if you have Firefox or Google Chrome, just make sure that these are the boxes you have checked. Again, don't check any of these because we don't want to delete, the passwords or your preferences or anything like that. And then also, you can come down here and just make sure everything's checked. Again, your list is going to vary depending on what you have on your computer, but generally, it should be fine to check most everything on this list. Once you've done all that, you can go ahead and click the Run Cleaner button, and it will go ahead and clean out all of the garbage data. You want to click on OK. This may take several minutes, but just let it run until it finishes. Once CCleaner hits 100%, you'll know it's finished, and it will also tell you how much garbage data was removed and give you a detailed list here. For part B, you'll want to come over here and click on the Registry tab, and just make sure everything here is checked, and then you're going to go ahead and click on Scan for Issues. And then once it reaches 100% again, you'll know it's ready and finished. So we're going to go ahead and come down here and click on Fix Selected Issues. If it asks you if you want to back up the registry, click on Yes, and you can just save it wherever you would like to save it. So I'm just going to go ahead and click Save. It will tell you how many it found, so it looks like it found 51. I'm going to go ahead and click on Fix All Selected Issues, and then we're going to click on Close. Now you're going to want to run this probably a few times because it may not find all of them on the first scan, so I'm going to go ahead and run it again just to make sure it found all of them. Now you can see on the second scan it found no issues, so we're ready to move on to part C. For part C, you'll want to come over here and click on the Tools tab, and then also make sure you have the Uninstalled tab selected here. Now here in the middle window, it's going to list all of the programs you have on your computer. And so on part C, basically what you need to do is go through this entire list and remove all of the bad programs and all of the junk programs. If you had malware or a virus or something else like adware on your computer, there's a good chance that a bad program has been installed. So again, you're just going to want to go through everything here on this list and remove all of the bad ones. Now also, if you go back down to the notes under step 3, part C, there is another link there that will take you to this page. It's called shouldIRemove.it.com, and here you can look up a program to see if it is good or bad. And so again, you just look at the list, find the name of the program, come here to shouldIRemove.it.com, just type it into the search box and hit search, and it will give you a rating about whether or not it should be removed. So anything that has like a yellow or orange or red rating absolutely has to be removed. If it has a green rating, you can leave it, but anything again with a red, an orange, or a yellow rating, right here, any of those programs absolutely do need to be removed off your computer. Now, a couple pointers. If you see anything with the word toolbar in it, don't even bother looking it up. I can tell you right now it absolutely needs to be removed. It doesn't matter if it's from Yahoo or Google or AVG or whoever it's from. Anything with the word toolbar in it absolutely needs to be removed off the computer. Another thing you'll want to watch for is you will want to make sure you do not have more than one antivirus program on the computer. If you have multiple, you need to remove the extra ones and make sure you only have one. Also, you will want to keep an eye out for any programs that claim to be registry cleaners. Those are usually bad, so I would definitely remove those. When you do find a program that you're ready to remove, you'll just click on it to select it, and then you'll come up here and click on uninstall, and this will remove the program. Please be aware that some programs will not fully remove until the computer has been restarted. So if you remove something and it's still on the list, that's normal. Those will usually disappear and fully remove after the computer has been restarted. Now, if anything pops up while you are uninstalling programs asking you to restart now, again, just decline the restart. We will restart later in the cleaning steps. Now, one additional note, for those of you who are using Windows 10, you'll also want to come down here to the search box, and you'll just want to type in settings. And we're just going to open up the settings window. And you'll want to go to System. And then you'll want to go to Apps and Features. Now, this is another list of all the programs and apps that are on the computer. Some programs on Windows 10 may not show up on this list, but will show up on this list. So just make sure that after you've gone through everything here in CCleaner and removed everything, if you're on Windows 10, come here and just double check. Make sure there's nothing additional that you need to remove. Again, because some things are going to show up on this list that do not show up in CCleaner, but most will show up in CCleaner. Now for part D of step 3, you'll come over here. Again, just make sure you still have the Tools tab selected, but then you'll click on the Startup tab. And what this will do is give you a list of all the programs that are set to run in the background when you first turn the computer on. And so the more you turned on, or the more that you have turned on here, the slower your computer will run. And so basically, you'll want to go through this list and turn pretty much everything off except for do not turn off anything that has to do with your antivirus program, and do not turn off anything that has to do with any sort of automated online backup service. Everything else, for the most part, you should be able to turn off without any problems or issues. I mean, if you do see something you recognize and want to leave it on, that's up to you. But the more you have turned off, the better, because it will help the computer run more efficiently because it doesn't have to run as many programs at one time. To disable a program, all you do is you click on it to highlight it, and then you'll click on Disable. It will change it from a yes to a no. You can also, by holding the Shift key, highlight more than one item at a time, and then just click on Disable, and it will disable all of them. Again, it will change it from a yes to a no. Now, additionally, you'll want to come down here to the search box and type in msconfig, just like this. And then when it brings up the system configuration, just right-click on it and select Run as Administrator. And then go to the Startup tab and then Open Task Manager. Now, these lists, the list here and the list you have here, they should match, but on rare occasions, there will be something that will show up here that will not show up in CCleaner and vice versa. So just make sure that you go into msconfig and the Startup tab just to double check to make sure you have not missed anything. Additionally, if you're using a Windows 10 computer, you'll want to come down here to the search box and type in Settings. And then just open up the Settings options. And you'll want to go to Privacy. And then go down to where it says Background Apps. And these are all of the apps that are set to run in the background of your computer as well. I would recommend turn off everything if you can. The more you have turned off, the better. It will help optimize your computer to run more efficiently. If there's something here you absolutely use all the time and need to leave it turned on, then do so. But again, turn off as much here as possible, and this will help your computer run more efficiently and optimize it as well. Moving on to step number 4, we will need to go through and clean out the web browsers of any malware and garbage. And so this step will also have 4 parts. We will start with part A, which is Google Chrome. And so if you have Google Chrome on your computer, go ahead and open it up. And you'll need to come up here to the top right hand corner and just click on the 3 little dots to open up the menu here. And we will go to Settings. And then from Settings, we're going to come over here and click on Extensions. The first thing you will do is come over here and check the developer mode and click the Update Extensions Now box. Now once that has completed, here in the middle it will list all of the extensions on your Google Chrome web browser. Chances are if Malwarebytes or Super Anti-Spyware came back positive with any threats, chances are you do have a malware related extension. And so we do want to be clear that even though extensions are fun and convenient, extensions are not good for security, they are not good for privacy, and they also slow your web browser down. So we're going to go through and clean all of these up. Now if you come across an extension that you know is legitimate and that you use, just disable it while it's not being used. This will help increase security, and it helps optimize the browser because it's not always running. So we're going to disable the extensions we want to keep. And again, in the future, if we need to use them, we can come back here and re-enable them. If you have something that has to do with your passwords, like a password vault or password keeper, you can keep that one also. Just disable it while it's not being used. And then everything else that's garbage, you just click on the little trash can and remove it. If you come across anything that says toolbar, anything with toolbar in it absolutely has to be removed. You cannot keep those. It doesn't matter if they're from AVG, Yahoo, Comcast, also known as Xfinity. If it's from Pinterest, again, everything that the Pinterest extension does, you can do through the website or the app. This is just a security and privacy risk, and it also slows your browser down, so we're going to remove it. And you'll just want to go ahead and do this for everything. We'll go ahead and remove this one as well. And then also, even though this is from WebRoot, that it is a security company, it has toolbar in it, which is bad, so it's going to go. So your goal should be to get this list down to as few as possible. Again, if you have any extensions you know are legitimate and that you use, just disable them while they're not being used. You can come back here and re-enable them when you need them. Everything else needs to be removed, and this will help clean up the web browser and help it increase security, increase privacy, and also help optimize it to help it run more efficiently. Next, you're going to come over here and click on Settings. Chances are if you had malware on the computer, it probably changed your home page or startup page. So underneath on Startup, we're just going to go ahead and select the bottom option and specify what page we want to have open here. So I'm just going to type in Google, and then we'll go ahead and hit OK. And then there's a good chance it probably also changed. If you had malware, your home page probably got changed. If you need to change it, you can just check this box and change your home page to whatever you want it to be. Again, I'm just going to put in Google as well, and then hit OK. And then there's also a good possibility that your search engine got changed, your default search engine. So if you need to change that, you just click here. You can select whichever search engine you want to use. We recommend either Google, Yahoo, or Bing. If you want to improve privacy, use DuckDuckGo, but for now I'm just going to set it to Google. And then if you need to change your default web browser, the option is right here. You just click that button. And then last, we're just going to come up here and click on About. Just make sure our browser is up to date. You can see it's checking for updates, and it gave us a check mark that it is up to date. If yours is not, it will automatically update. When it's finished, you'll just have to restart the web browser. Now for part B, we are moving on to Firefox. So I have the Firefox browser open here. The very first thing you'll do is come up here to the menu and go to the add-ons option. And we're going to start here on extensions. Just make sure the extensions tab is selected. And then come over here to the gear, click on it, and just click on check for updates. And it will go ahead and update any extensions that need to be updated. Now same as Google Chrome, here in Firefox, again, we know extensions are fun and convenient, but they are not good for security, they're not good for privacy, and they are not good for the browser as far as optimization. So again, you will want to go through and remove as many extensions as possible. So we're going to go ahead and hit the remove button. Again, if you have an extension that has to do with a password vault or password keeper, you can keep those. Just hit disable while they're not being used. We have one here with the word toolbar in it, so we're absolutely going to remove those. Please be aware that some extensions may not be fully removed until you restart the browser. That's completely fine. But again, try to get this list down to as few as possible. If you can get it down to 0, that would be best. Again, any extensions you are going to keep, make sure you disable them while they are not being used. Next, you're going to come over here to the Plugins tab, and all you're going to do is just go down your list of plugins and change as many of these to say ask to activate as possible. Some of them will not have the option to do so, so you can just leave them. But just check every single one. If it has an option to change it to ask to activate, go ahead and do so. So we're just going to check every single option here on the list. And so this will just increase security and help reduce the chances of malware getting on Firefox again in the future. Also with Firefox, you will want to make sure that the plugins are up to date. And so to do so, if you go back down to step 4 under part B, there will be this URL. What you'll do is you'll just copy it. And if you open up a new tab here in Firefox and just paste it in, what it will do is just automatically check to see if all of your plugins are up to date. If they are not, it will have an option here to update them. If there is an update available, make sure you do it because those do include security updates and performance stability updates as well. Next in Firefox, we're going to click on the menu button again and go to Options. If you need to change your home page back to what it was in case the malware changed it, right here, you can just delete out whatever's there, type in the home page you want, and then if you want to make Firefox your default, there's a button right there to do so. Also, if your search engine, your default search engine got changed, you just click on the search tab here. You can see that the malware on this computer did change it to a different search or default search engine, so I'm just going to click on this drop down menu. Again, we recommend Yahoo, Google, or Bing, or DuckDuckGo if you want to increase privacy. I'm just going to click on Google. And then to remove the malware related search, I'm just going to select it and then hit remove, and it is gone. And then last for Firefox, you will want to come up here and click on the menu button and just come down here and click on the little question mark and click on About Firefox. This will just make sure the Firefox browser is up to date. You can see that this one says it is up to date. If yours is not, it will automatically start to update and then it will ask you to restart the browser. For part C, here in Internet Explorer, basically at this point in time, I would recommend that you stop using Internet Explorer and just switch to either Google Chrome, Mozilla Firefox, or Microsoft Edge if you're on Windows 10. Now for step 4, part D, here in Microsoft Edge, I had to switch to a different computer, so I apologize about that. But what you'll need to do is come up here and click on the 3 little dots. And first off, if you need to manage the extensions, the option will be right here. Now, if you go into Microsoft Edge and you do not have this extensions option showing up, what it means is that you're using a different version of Windows 10. And so if you do not have the Anniversary Edition, it's not going to have the extensions option. But if you do, you just click on it. It will list the extensions you have. Again, if you have a password keeper, you'll just click on the little gear icon, and we're just going to turn it off while we're not using it. Again, you'll do that for any extensions you need to keep, and then for anything you need to remove, you'll just click the gear icon and hit uninstall, and you can remove it off of your Microsoft Edge web browser. Additionally, we can click on the menu button here again, and we can go down to settings this time, and we can change the default here. We can also change the start page if we need to in case it got changed with any malware or viruses. And if we also go continue down, we can click on View Advanced Settings. If we want to change our home page, we just turn the home button on, and then from here you can change the home page. And then also, if you need to change right here, you can also change your search engine if needed as well. For step number 5, we will need to run an antivirus scan. And so what you'll need to do is go ahead and open up your antivirus program. Now, I'm going to, down in the notes below under step 5, I will list several links to free antivirus options that you can use with Windows. Again, as I've already mentioned, make sure you never ever use more than one antivirus program at the same time. So if you're going to switch, you need to first remove your current antivirus program and then install the new one. Also, if you would like to, those of you using Windows 10 or Windows 8 or 8.1, it actually comes with a built-in antivirus program. And so if we come down here to the search box and type in Windows Defender, we can go ahead and open up the antivirus program here. Now again, whichever antivirus program you're using, whether it's Windows Defender or something else, you'll need to open it up and look for the update option. Every single antivirus program has an update option, so you need to locate it and go ahead and update it. This will update the definitions, which are very important because the program cannot identify the latest viruses without these updates, so make sure it fully updates. Once your antivirus program has updated, you'll go ahead and want to look for where it gives you a full system scan option, because we want to scan the entire system, and then you'll go ahead and scan the computer. The last thing we'll do here for step number 6 is go down to the search box and type in File Explorer. And just please be aware, if you're using an older version of Windows, you might have to type in Windows Explorer, so just be aware of that. But we're going to go ahead and open it up here. And then on the left hand side, just look for where it says This PC. If you're using an older version of Windows, it might say Computer, so just be aware of that. And then if I click on it, we just want to locate the C drive here. I'm just going to right click on it and go to Properties. And then when this window opens up, we're going to go to Tools and then over to Optimize. Now, if you're using a solid state drive, you need to turn the defrag off because it can damage the drive. So you'll just click on Change Settings and then just uncheck all the boxes and hit OK. And you can see that it turned it to off. But in this case, we are just using a regular hard drive. And so if you fall into that category, just make sure that you turn it on. We want to run it on a schedule. I would recommend just running it on monthly. And then that way your computer will automatically run a defragmentation on your computer once a month. And that way you don't even have to worry about it. For the last step, you'll just want to make sure that we go ahead and restart the computer. So I'm just going to click on the Windows Start button, go to Power, and then hit Restart. Once your computer has restarted, you should be good and finished and ready to go. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really do appreciate it. And if you have any questions or comments, please post them down below.